appear or is getting ready to appear before the MPs or the Appointments Committee to discuss his qualifications and also his judicial approach and the vision for the justice system. Let's cross over to our parliamentary affairs correspondent, Mutala. I beg your pardon. Let's cross over to our parliamentary affairs correspondent, Ibrahim Malasan. Ibrahim, you were telling us what to expect ahead of the vetting.
Well, I was just saying that you have just come at the right time because until now, the uncertainty is as to whether the minority will be party to today's exercise or not. I can tell you that indeed the minority members on the Appointments Committee are here in their numbers. And in fact, the members of the committee just walked in. I've seen the chairman for the committee as well. Let's get just a word. The minorities spokesperson on legal affairs. Briefly, Honorable, you are live on GHOne TV. What should we expect from you?
Well, just wait. We are about to start, so I'll plead with you to just wait, okay? It's 11 o'clock. We should start anytime soon. And that's what I'm going to say. So please don't ask any further question.
Many of us are surprised that you are here. Is our surprise justified?
But I just said you should just wait. We are here. I mean, you are here, so just wait. I believe it's not far from opening, so you're going to hear everything you need to hear. So just wait, please. All right, thank you.
Honorable Kennedy, what do you have to add? You are live on GHOne TV.
Oh, but my colleague have just explained everything. Leadership will come, and we are just here representing the minority. We are waiting for our leader to come in because it's the leader who is leading the entire caucus to represent on this vetting. So whatever the leader comes and we'll take it from there. But for now, we are here.
All right, thank you very much. As Kennedy was saying, and so Nadima, like I said, the uncertainty was as to whether the MPP members on the minority, the appointment committee will be here, but they are here. They say they are waiting the directive from the leader of the caucus, and that's Alexander Kwame Afenyo-Markin, who, interestingly, is a ranking member for this particular committee. He's yet to show up, but like I said, the chairman is here. I've seen the majority leader, Mahama Eriga, here. I've seen other members of the committee as well here. In fact, if you look to right in front of me, you see former president of the Ghana Bar Association, Tony Forson there. You see colleagues to Justice Paul Baffoe-Bonnie, and I'm talking about from Justice Yoni Kulendi to Justice Puaman to Justice Senyo Jamepe to Amadou Tanku and many others. In fact, there are also individuals from a Court of Appeal, Lawyer Opong, of course, now Justice Opong, and many of them are equally here. Let me also, as I did, pick just a word from Honorable Ajibafo. You're live on GHOne TV, sir. What should we expect from you?
Our constitutional duty.
Okay. Yes, he says you should expect nothing but the constitutional duty from the minority members on the appointment committee. And if we are to deduce anything from that, it tells you that the minority will be part of today's exercise, and regardless of the reservations they have. And these reservations, Nadima, have ranged from the fact that a petition, for that matter, a motion was sent to the Speaker requesting that if Speaker found it acceptable, Parliament halts all processes, including today's exercise, and also subsequent approval of Justice Paul Baffoe-Bonnie as the Chief Justice, because there are a number of cases pending at the Supreme Court, some of them filed by to reverse that decision, to remove her and have her reinstated as the Chief Justice. The Chief Justice herself is also at the ECOWAS Community Court. So the prayer of the minority in the motion is that, given how active these cases are at the court, Parliament should pull the brakes, allow the cases to be determined by the law courts before making any determination regarding the future of Justice Paul Baffoe-Bonnie. But of course, that motion did not find favor with the Speaker, who argued that Parliament is an independent arm of government, just as the judiciary, just as the executive. And because of that, there is no way that one independent arm of government can stop the other from exercising its constitutional duty. And so as a result, that motion was not accepted. That motion was dismissed. The minority leader, Alexander Kwame Nafejo-Marquin, was, however, not excited about the development. In fact, he was not happy with how the processes panned out. Honorable, briefly, let me just take a word from you. You're live on GHOne TV.
Oh, well, the vetting is about to start.
What should we expect from you?
Oh, the vetting will start in the next couple of minutes. So so whatever it is that you should expect should happen in the next couple of minutes.
But you are here, and that matters a lot.
Yeah, we are here. Yes,
you will be here.
Oh, well, we'll see. We'll see.
All right. So that's Hassan Tampoli. Yes, many of the minority members are holding their cards close to their chest. Let me go to Justice. Yes, I will have to ask Justice because he's a friend to the brand, Justice Opon, Lawyer Opon, we used to call him. You are live on GH1 TV. Justice, first of all, what's your expectation of today, the exercise?
Your expectations are my expectations. Yeah.
But how important is today to you? The fact that, of course, you are here in your regalia, resplendent, of course.
Well, it's in fulfillment of the relevant constitutional provisions to enable us appoint Chief Justice. That's why we are here.
So you are here, obviously, to support the nominee. Is that the case?
Well, we are here to ensure that the constitutional provisions are fulfilled.
Well, we've been here before. I'm talking about vetting of Chief Justice nominees. I've covered Parliament for a while. It usually drags. How are you prepared for that today as well?
Well, the Lord is on our side, and as you can see, Nananom to support us, to endure however long it may be. So we expect to have the strength and the energy to go through it.
Do you have anything to say about the nominee? Of course, you've been practicing, you've been an administrator of the legal system at a point.
Well, I will leave it to those who ask the questions and he himself and the general public. After that, I can tell you my view.
All right.
Thank you.
You're most welcome. Nana, will you also want to add something briefly? Nana doesn't want to add anything, of course. So that's, of course, Justice Opon, Justice of the Court of Appeal, we understand. And so, yes, I can tell you that there's heavy representation here as far as the bench is concerned. And then there is also heavy representation here as far as the traditional leaders are concerned, especially those that have one thing or the other to do with the nominee. And as you heard Justice Opon say, he's here in fulfillment of the constitutional duty. This is a constitutional exercise, i.e. the president nominating someone to be the Chief Justice, and then Parliament exercising its duty of examining that individual, and then the entire House making a determination as to whether that person is fit to occupy that office. That of Justice Paul Baffoe-Bonnie is an interesting one. He's making history regardless of how it goes and the subsequent processes on the floor of Parliament. He is the first Chief Justice to appear before the appointment committee in acting capacity. Today, as we speak, he is the acting Chief Justice. He is equally the very first Chief Justice to appear, the nominee to appear before the appointment committee after the removal of the substantive Chief Justice. So regardless of how today goes, history has already been made. Related to the reservations of the minority, of course, that could not stop today's exercise because, as we heard the speaker say, regardless of how this process truncates, how it ends, the bench, the judiciary, reserve the right, and I'm talking about the apex court of the land, the Supreme Court reserves the right to make a determination after the processes in Parliament truncate, i.e. if Parliament vets and subsequently approves the nominee, and there are other issues that the Supreme Court, in its opinion, feels did not go right procedurally, the court reserves the right, as it has always done, to strike down the process that took place in Parliament. And so that's the reason why Speaker dismissed the motion filed by the minority. The minority leader, for instance, also talked about timing, because this dismissal of the motion was done last Friday. Parliament doesn't sit on Saturdays, it doesn't sit on Sundays. Even today, Parliament doesn't sit. And so his argument was that, yes, he disagreed with the ruling of the Speaker. He prayed for time to make his point as a point of law. But at the time Speaker dismissed the motion, there was no practically any forum that he could have advanced his argument and make his legal argument. But of course, what we know is that the minority leader is equally the ranking member to this particular committee. And usually before questions are even put to the nominees, the two leaders, and I'm talking about the ranking member and then also the chairman of the committee, who is the first deputy speaker, will have the opportunity to address the gathering. And so, yes, expect the minority leader to equally have his opportunity to register a reservation of not just him, but of his side and those who think along the lines of their position, to make that point forcefully. As to whether after making that point preliminary, Alexander Kwame Afenyomakin will order his charges to walk out or to stay and execute the duty is something that we'll live to see. But if what Honorable Baffoe were told us is anything to go by, that the members of the minority on the appointments committee are here to discharge their constitutional duty, their constitutional mandate, that should tell you that they are ready and willing to throw questions at the nominee and expect answers and be part of this process to scrutinize the nominee and come to a determination as to whether his nomination should be approved in the plenary or not. And so, yes, I've seen a number of members on the committee walk in and walk out. There are others as well who are engaged in conversations outside. As I mentioned, traditional leaders are equally here, heavily represented. The colleagues and peers of the nominee are here in the numbers. I mentioned Justice Senyor Jemafe here, Justice Yuni Kulendi here as well, Justice Scott Puaman here as well, Justice Amadou Tanko here as well as many other justices of the Supreme Court who are here in their numbers to, first of all, ensure that this constitutional mandate is fulfilled and also offer support to the nominee. Let me still move around and see as to whether we can engage some more brains who are gathered here. Like I mentioned, the minority members are here. In case you were wondering, given what transpired last Friday, that the MPP MPs will be here. Yes, the new class, if you've been monitoring us, is that they are here. However, as to whether they will be here for the process truncate or till the process truncate is something that we'll try to engage many more minds are here and they are here in their numbers. So let's engage briefly the former Minister for Justice and Attorney General, Honorable Marietta Bria-Piopon. We are live on GHOne TV. Briefly, your expectation, please.
My expectation is that everything will go well today. I mean, the vetting should have started at 11, hasn't started on time, but we expect it to start shortly, and I expect it to go smoothly.
Fine legal brain. Do you think the controversy surrounding today's exercise could have been avoided?
I'm not aware of any controversy.
as to whether Parliament, as an independent arm of government, can go ahead with this process as enshrined in the Constitution, or wait for active cases that are at the court to be determined?
The Speaker has ruled, and that is it. It's done. So there's no controversy.
And the ruling of the Speaker finds basis in law, per your opinion?
You expect me to propound my views here? The Speaker has spoken. It's done, and it's going ahead. The Speaker's decision here in Parliament is final.
This is not your first time here. Usually these vetings are dragged. Are you ready for it?
We are ready. We are ready for it.
I hope you message to them, because some of the issues could have been dealt with differently. Many people, many Ghanaians have shared their opinion, especially when appointees appear before the committee, that some of the questions are repeated, some are unnecessarily dragged, some are afforded on the amount of time to drag the exercise.
Well, I mean, you've already said the things that have gone wrong with the past vettings. I'm sure the committee is aware of it. Will, of course, remedy the problems that have arisen in the past, do the correct thing, and just interview the nominee. I don't think there's going to be any problem. It will go very well. I'm confident of that.
So if I ask you what, because of course you are with the president, you work with the president, what went into the decision?
I cannot tell you what went into the decision. It's the president's decision. When you see the president, you can ask him that.
I can't ask the president's legal advisor.
No, you can't ask me.
Counsel
is confidential.
I understand. Thank you very much. Your final words to us.
Final words is that, I mean, just sit back and enjoy the vetting. I know it's going to be a bit of tension, as there usually is, but everything will go well.
Thank you very much, Honorable Marietta Brew Apia. Yes, as I mentioned, there are a number of justices of the Supreme Court here as well. There are equally a number of individuals who are here to support the nominee. The members of Parliament are here and they are ready. I've seen Honorable Jerry Ahmed, the Deputy Minority Whip. I've seen Honorable Habib Idrisu, equally a Deputy Minority Whip. I've seen Patrick Yabuama, a member of Parliament for Okankwe Central, who is here as well. And of course, as I mentioned earlier, I've equally seen Frank Anodompre. Let me just take a word from Patrick. That's Patrick Yabuama, who just walked past me to exchange pleasantries with the justices of the Supreme Court who have taken their seat. And so, like I was saying, I've equally seen the Minority Chief Whip himself, Frank Anodompre, who is a member of the committee here. I've seen the Deputy Majority Leader, who is here, of course, Rocket Egan, and many others. I can say that the House is gradually becoming a full one, and what we are waiting for is for the ranking member and then the chairman for the committee to take the seat and then set the ball rolling. Per the engagement, nobody will be surprised if this drags, because it's always been the case, especially in this instance where the minority members have had reservations from day one. The former Chief Justice herself has gone to court asking the court to stop Parliament from undertaking today's exercise, right? Not just today's exercise, but subsequently from making a determination as to whether to approve the nomination of Justice Baffoe-Bonnie as Chief Justice or not. And again, as I mentioned on Friday, given how things played out in the plenary, it will not be surprising for anybody to think that today's exercise is likely to drag. But newsflash, the minority members are here. They are here in their numbers. And they say they are here to discharge their constitutional duty, which in this instance will mean that they subject the nominee to interrogation and assist their colleagues in the plenary to make a decision as to whether to approve the nominee or to disapprove the nominee. But I tell you this, even when numbers were evenly split in the chamber, no nominee was ever rejected. Yes, some nominees had their nominations subjected or determined through voting by secret ballot. And I'm talking about under the Nana Addo administration. But with the numbers in Parliament on the side of the majority, which runs into over 180, chances are, regardless of what transpires here, regardless of what the committee's recommendation is, which is likely going to be that recommendation for approval either by consensus or by majority decision. And let me explain that. Regardless of the numbers of the minority on this committee, if the minority decides to withhold its approval from the nomination of Justice Paul Baffoe-Bonnie, the recommendation of the committee will then be by majority decision for the nominees, for the nomination of Justice Baffoe-Bonnie to be approved by the plenary. Now, the Speaker will then make a determination as to whether the decision by the plenary is by voice vote or any other thing. Now, if it's by voice vote and Speaker then indicate that the majority has carried the day, the minority reserves the right to challenge the Speaker's decision. Once that challenge comes, Speaker will then call for head count, right? And after head count is done, those that will say, yeah, if they are in the majority, then it means that at least the approval has been given. But I'm not sure that, given the numbers we have in Parliament, unless a miracle happens, we'll ever get to that point where the minority can marshal enough numbers to dwarf the majority numbers, right? But of course, these are the processes that are available to the Speaker when this matter goes to the plenary. Yes, but of course, it's safe to say that once Justice Paul Baffoe-Bonnie sails through today's exercise, the recommendation to the plenary will be for his approval, and the decision from the plenary, if following what has ensued is anything to go by, will be for his nomination to be approved. And then after that, the Speaker, of course, will then communicate this decision, I'm talking about Parliament, to the President. And the President will have Justice Paul Baffoe-Bonnie sworn in as the Chief Justice to replace officially the former Chief Justice, Justice Gertrude Araba Esaba Tokonu. So, yes, Nadima, that's what is happening here. The 11 a.m. We were given has come and gone by some minutes, but still we are yet to have the commencement of today's exercise. But everybody's here, as I mentioned. I've seen the chairman of the committee. I've seen his deputy as well, vice chairman. I'm yet to see the minority leader and the ranking member for this committee. But his charges are here in their numbers, and they've made their way here in their numbers. Per our engagement with them, don't be surprised if they start and end this exercise with the committee in full. So basically, Nadima, back to you in the studio. If you return to me, you'll return to scenes, visuals of Bernard Ahianfo, the chairman for the committee, and his lieutenant, Alexander Kwame Afenyo-Markin, the ranking member, addressing us, after which we'll have the Chief Justice, who is in the building, of course, because we are all here because of him, who is in the building. But as has always been the case, the committee will take its seat, proceedings will start, and then the chairman will then ask for the nominee to take the oath. And then, of course, the exercise will start. And I'm talking about questions being thrown at the nominee. But before then, we'll have the leadership of the committee address the sitting, address the hearing, and by extension address the country. In which address I expect the minority leader to make forcefully the points he was making when he was on the floor of Parliament on Friday after Speaker had rejected the motion filed to him, sent to him, praying that the Parliament halt processes, including the one we are about to witness today, and also subsequent approval of the nomination of Justice Paul Baffoe-Bonnie as Chief Justice. Yes, as Chief Justice. And so, Nadima, let me return to you in the studio for you to take the profile of the man that we are all here for. And I'm talking about before Paul Baffoe-Bonnie.
Before we give our viewers that profile of Justice Paul Baffoe-Bonnie, and before you take that breather, we just cited the majority leader, Mahama Ayariga. Is the minority leader still not in?
No. If you ask for the minority leader, specifically Alex Kwamena Afenyo-Markin, I've not seen Alex Afenyo-Markin. There was something. However, I've seen the deputy whip, Habibu Dirisu. I've seen the chief whip, Frank Anodompre. I've seen the deputy whip as well, Jerry Ahmed Shuaib, who is a member of this committee, right? I've seen the minority spokesperson on legal affairs. I've engaged him as well. And like I said, the minority presence here is very apparent. But of course, we are yet to see Osahen Alexander Kwamena Afenyo-Markin. To answer you directly.
Okay, that there is our parliamentary affairs correspondent Ibrahim Alassane giving us some updates with regard to the vetting process that is to begin any moment from now. But before we go back to the committee room, let's tell you who the man Justice Paul Baffoe-Bonnie is. And on your screens, that there is his picture. Justice Paul Baffoe-Bonnie was born on 26th December 1956 to parents Openyi Baffoe-Bonnie. On December 26, 2025, he will turn 69 years old. He would also be required to serve for a little over a year as Chief Justice, that is if he is vetted and approved today. He's also, or he hails from Sewa in the Bosomtwi district and Ama Trewa from Breman in Kumasi. That is where his mother hails from, I beg your pardon. On September 23, President John Dramani Mahama, with Article 144, Clause 1 of the 1992 Constitution, forwarded his name to the Council of State for consideration as Chief Justice of the Republic of Ghana. That is after Gertrude Isaba Tokonu was dismissed. Now, Justice Baffoe-Bonnie has been serving as the acting Chief Justice since April 22, 2025. As I told you earlier, following the suspension and removal of Justice Gertrude Isaba Tokonu. He has a distinguished judicial career, and we'll hear of that, more of that, and what he plans to do with regard to improving our judicial system. But then he served with diligence and integrity at the Circuit Court and also the High Court, the Court of Appeal, and currently the Supreme Court. If he's appointed today, he would become the 16th Justice of the Supreme Court to ascend the highest office of the judiciary. Let's talk about his education. Now, his primary school education was at Gwoso Local Authority Primary, and then his middle school, he completed the middle school level certificate examination in the late 1960s. He attended Konongo Odumase Secondary School, where he obtained his GCE Ordinary Level and GCE Advanced Level certificates from 1969 to 1976. He then proceeded to attend the University of Ghana and later the Ghana Law School. Justice Paul Baffoe-Bonnie, his work experience on the bench, he worked as a circuit court judge at Kumasi. He also served as High Court judge at Doyo Nkwanta. He was a judge in 2006. He was also then appointed a Supreme Court judge by the president, former President GHOne in June 2008. More on the profile of Chief Justice nominee Justice Paul Baffoe-Bonnie. In 2013, he was on the panel of Supreme Court judges who ruled against a petition that was brought before the court, where the New Patriotic Party asked for about 4 million votes to be scrapped for alleged tampering in the 2012 general election. Away from that, he is married to Patience Baffoe-Bonnie, who is currently the Director General of the Ghana Prison Service. Well, on a lighter note, he's said to be a football fanatic. He is a staunch Liverpool fan and an ardent supporter of the Accra Greater Olympics. So that there is what we know about Justice Paul Baffoe-Bonnie, who is appearing before the Appointments Committee. Let's go back to my colleague Ibrahim Alasan, who is in the committee room for more on the vetting process. Hello, Ibi.
Yeah, let's cross over.
Marking, who just walked into the committee room, so we're guessing the process will begin any moment from now. Let's take you there now.
to order. We start as usual with prayers. Almighty God, we humbly beseech thee to look with favor upon this Parliament of the Republic of Ghana. Grant that it may perform its high duty as in their sight. Give divine guidance to the President of the Republic. Endow members of Parliament and ministers of state with discernment and vision, integrity and courage, that through the labors of government, this land and people may be well and truly served, and their good purposes for the common human life be realized in our midst. O God, grant us a vision of our country, fair as it might be, a country of righteousness, where none shall wrong his neighbor, a country of plenty, where evil and poverty shall be done away with, a country of brotherhood, where all success shall be founded on service, and honor shall be given to the deserving. A country of peace, where government shall rest on the will of the people and the love for the common good. Bless the effort of those who struggle to make this vision a living reality. Inspire and strengthen our people that they may give time, thoughts, and sacrifice to speed the day of the coming beauty of Ghana and Africa. Amen. Amen. Honourable members, may I use the opportunity to welcome all of us to justice to be. Honourable members, following the nomination of the Chief Justice, His Excellency the President of the Republic of Ghana, by a letter dated 17th October 2025, communicated saying to Parliament, Honourable members, this was duly referred to the Appointment Committee to conduct the vetting and report to the House. In view of that, this meeting has been organized. Honourable members, the purpose clearly is to vet His Lordship Justice Baffoe-Bonnie as the Chief Justice of Ghana. Honourable members, he has been vetted and approved by this House as Justice of the Supreme Court of Ghana. He is now being elevated to a leadership level as the Chief Justice. We are therefore here to have him vetted. Honourable members, once again, you are all welcome. Honourable members, as the tradition demands, we shall proceed to call on the clerk to have the Chief Justice sworn in.
I hereby proceed to lead the nominee to speak.
Chairman, for the record,
these proceedings must be orderly. When you have an issue, the practice is that you catch the eye of the speaker, and in this case, the eye of the chairman. You don't have a right to ask anybody to stop proceedings for you to say whatever you want to say. Honorable members, the idea is, why should I refer to him as a Chief Justice but not Chief Justice nominee? Chief Justice nominee, you are welcome.
let me see.
Honorable Habib, let me hear you.
Chairman, thank you.
I hope it's not different from what I said, Chief Justice nominee.
Close to what you said. Initially, you said the clerk should swear in the Chief Justice. And this is Parliament, and for the record of Parliament, that will be captured. So if you are correcting it, then direct that your earlier statement should be expunged from the record.
Unfortunately, you don't have a right to tell me what I should do. Once the correction has been made, may we proceed to administer the oath. Clerk of the committee.
I hereby proceed.
I, for Baffoe-Bonnie,
Swear by the Almighty God
swear by the Almighty God
that the evidence I shall give before this committee
that the evidence I shall give before this committee
touching the matter in issue shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help me God.
So help me God.
Thank you very much. Honourable members, procedurally, I will ask the members of the committee to introduce themselves. It's going to be self-introduction, starting from my left. Honourable members, only members of the committee.
Nana Eji Baffoe, the Honourable Member of Parliament for the good people of Menchia South, and Vice Chairman, the Subsidiary Legislations Committee.
Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. My name is Hassan Tampoli. I'm the Member of Parliament for the good and virtuous people of Gushegu in the Northern Region, and then Deputy Ranking for Constitutional and Legal Affairs Committee, Parliament. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I am Honorable Anthony Mie, Member of Parliament for Odotobri in the Ashanti region. I also serve as the Vice Chairman for the Committee on Judiciary. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. My name is Kwame Enyimedo-Entry, Member of Parliament for Santiachim Central and a ranking member for Constitutional Legal.
Joseph Rimpong, MP Nkoko, Chairman of the Judicial Committee. Thank you.
Kwame Apia-Kodua, Member of Parliament for Vantiakwa North in the Eastern Region. Subject member. Petitions. Petitions and judiciary, sir. I'm here as a subject matter member. Thank you.
Petitions Committee.
Petitions, and I'm a member of the Petitions and Judiciary, but I'm here in the name of the judiciary.
The rules are clear in Standing Order 1217. Strictly subject matter committee.
I'm here on the ticket of the
and then leadership of the subject matter committee. So you are either a chairman, vice chairman, ranking, or deputy ranking of the committee. Honourable members, let me use the opportunity to clarify Standing Order 217. We do not want any confusion. If you know you are not a ranking member, deputy ranking, chairman, and vice chairman of the subject matter committee, please perpetually remain silent.
Thank you very much, Patrick Boamo, Kaimpe Central, member of the committee.
Jerry Ahmed Shaib, MP for Wejagbawe, leadership.
Alhaji Habib Idris, member of parliament for Tolon, and first deputy minority whip, member of the committee.
Honor Dompre, Salma Dreji, minority whip.
Yes, now on my right.
Thank you very much, Chair. My name is B. Awad Azmon Siden. I am the MP for Laura and ranking for judicial and subject matter representative.
Al-Hassan Umar, MP for Zabsulu in the Northern Region, a member of the Appointment Committee.
Thank you, Chairman. My name is Shaibu Mahal, MP for Napoya Mankaru, Chairman for Constitutional and Legal Affairs Committee of Parliament, and a member of the committee.
Thank you, Chairman. MP for Adan Leadership.
Ladi Ayayaba is my name, MP for Fusiga, ranking for Chieftaincy and Culture, and a member of the Appointments Committee.
Chairman, thank you. Senior Nominee, you're welcome. My name is Robson Nelson Dapamambo, MP for the good people of Southern, member.
My name is Mahama Ayariga, member of Parliament for the Central Constituency leadership.
Thank you. My name is Kweku Ricketts Hagen, member of Parliament for Cape Coast South and the vice chairman of the committee, of the appointment committee. Thank you.
Afenyo Markin, MP for Ifutu and ranking for the committee.
Bernard Ahiafo, chairman of the appointment committee. People also call me the kingmaker. So, all members, commencement. Yes, I see you pulling the microphone. You have an issue.
Chairman, with respect, thank you for the opportunity, and I shall proceed with my opening remarks, which remarks I make for and on behalf of the minority caucus of this committee.
Honorable Minority Leader and the ranking member of the committee, I shall accord you every respect and the time to raise your issue. My only hope and prayer is that whatever issue that we are going to raise must be raised within the rules that governs this committee as well as the entire Parliament. The floor is now yours.
Chairman, thank you very much. I shall proceed my remarks with a quote from Shakespeare's Macbeth, Act 1, Scene 7. First, as I'm his kinsman and his subject, strong both against the deed, and as his host, who should against his murderer shut the door, and not bear the knife myself. Besides, this Duncan has borne his faculty so meek, has been so clear in his great office, and his virtues will gleam like angels, trumpet-tongued against the deep damnation of his taking off, and beat like a naked newborn baby, striding the blast or heaven's cherubim, horns upon the silent couriers of the air, shall blow the horrid deed in every eye. Tears shall drown the wind. I have no spare to break the size of my intent, but only vaulting ambition, which overleaps itself and falls on the other. Chairman, this morning, on behalf of the caucus, we hear with a heavy heart, but an unshakable resolve to defend the Constitution of Ghana, protect judicial independence, and uphold the rule of law. We gather to vet a disputed nominee for office of Chief Justice of Ghana. This should be a moment of national pride and institutional renewal. No. Instead, it has become a test of whether Ghana's judiciary will remain independent or fall under executive and political.
Honorable Minority Leader. Honorable Minority Leader, just hold it a second. Yes, Honorable Ayarga.
Mr. Chairman, we are here because our rules say we should be here. And the same rules indicate exactly what we can do or not do when we gather here. Order 122. And 1, 2, 3. I want you to focus on those two orders. 1, 2, 3 talks about content of speeches, whereas 1, 2, 2 provides the grounds on which debate can be interrupted. So I come under order 1, 2, 2. But my objection is founded on content of speeches. I've heard the ranking member of the committee refer to, I believe, the nominee as a disputed nominee to the post of Chief Justice. 1, 2, 3 says, a member shall not raise any question. 1, 2, 3, 5. A member shall not raise any specific question upon which the House has come to a conclusion during the current session, except on a substantive motion for rescission. I recall that just a couple of days ago, I think Thursday, the same member brought a motion to the House trying to stop this committee from sitting to vet the nominee. The matter was exhaustively debated, and you, Mr. Speaker, gave a ruling. Subsequently, the Speaker himself, for you sat as a Deputy Speaker, the Speaker himself came and recounted the motion and also gave a ruling. So this issue about the propriety or otherwise of whatever happened has been raised on the floor, debated extensively, and a ruling given. Apart from that, Order 1237 says that the conduct of the Speaker, the Chief Justice, members and justices of the Superior Court of Judicature shall not be raised in Parliament except upon a substantive motion. You cannot raise anything about the conduct of a member of the Superior Court of Judicature of this country in Parliament except by a substantive motion. No substantive motion for us, and so the ranking member has no right, no lawful authority to raise anything about what happened in court, the processes leading to a removal of anybody and the nomination of anybody. You have no right, pursuant to our rules, to raise those issues. So be guided, because if you raise them, I'm going to object. So I am objecting to the use of the term disputed nominee, because there's no dispute before us regarding the nomination.
Yes, Honorable Habib, there is an issue raised, and I must give the floor first to the person who raised the issue in relation to which objection is being taken to respond. Yes, Honorable Minority Leader and the ranking member of the committee, this is the issue raised to part of the submission that you've started raising. What is your response to it?
Chairman, first of all, the majority leader is clearly acting in bad faith, seeking to obstruct the rather peaceful processes we have started, and as it were, try to use his numbers to intimidate. Let me ask, the rule he relied on has to do with debates on the floor of the House. There are dark clouds indeed in this country where freedom of speech by mere operation of a supermajority, you cannot even as a member of parliament make your comments. I am not moving a motion. I am not debating. Please, Chairman, the rule you relied upon. It is this situation where people move from here and there to create confusion and create their own jurisprudence must come to an end with respect. Interruption of debate. That is, if you go to page 70 or the 122, the title, the subtitles, interruption of debate. Debate may be interrupted by a point of order. And then he says that I am debating. Who is debating me? Mr. Chairman, if the majority leader has anything to say in opposition to my opening remarks, he has a right bona fide as a leader of government business and as a leader of the House to also state his submission. I have seen him with his written submission, be it for his opening remarks, or see that to you as the chair of the committee, to read it for answer. But this process where, as it were, try to use it to deny you, don't say this. So every line
that I read, he will censure it and say, you use this word. Mr. Chairman, we are not going to make any progress with that. Again, the 1, 2, 3 that he relies upon. He says that the conduct of the Speaker, the Chief Justice, members and Justice of the Superior Court or Judicator shall not be raised in Parliament except upon a substantive motion. With the greatest respect. Have I raised any issue that is situated within the context of 123.7 to warrant this so-called objection? Chairman,
Honorable members, can we have some order?
Chairman,
Honorable members, can we have some order and listen to the minority leader in silence?
Chairman, we are here to discharge a civic duty and responsibility. We are political actors who have our political views on matters of national interest. The matters giving rise to the nomination is purely political, and every Ghanaian adult knows this. Your side raised it as a political issue during the campaign. You are going to remove Justice Tokono as Chief Justice, and that has happened. If in my statement I contextualize to say that disputed nominee, it is our view we hold as a minority caucus. We have to express it, and that is why I added by saying that this should be a moment of national pride and institutional renewal. Instead, it has become a test of whether Ghana's judiciary will remain independent or fall under executive and political control. Can't I have these bona fides also that have to be obstructed by the majority leader when you have every unfettered right to raise your issues? Chairman, humbly, please control proceedings. Please take charge. Let our respected leader of government business understand that after speaking, after making my comment known on behalf of the minority, he can seek your leave to also make his opening remarks. By the way, by way of conclusion, this is not the first time a leader in the minority is having this opportunity to make opening remarks. It predates me. From J.H. Mensah's era, he and J.H. Owusu-Achampong, all the way to Alban Gbagbe, MP for Nandole Kalio, and minority leader as he then was. The videos are there. Hansard is there. The Honorable Gbagbe had unfettered opportunity to make his political statement on behalf of the minority, and they were not stopped on point of order. It got to J. Mensah Bonsu, it got to Harun Edrusu, and recently, my own respected colleague, Dr. Kassiel Atufos. The records are there. Let's not create a certain impression as if all it is you are majority, so we cannot even say a word. We must have our rights. These are our rights. We will state them, and you will also have the opportunity to state them for the record. Please, let us have some more.
Honorable Minority Leader, your point is made. Yes, you have listened to the response. Honorable members, it's not every issue that will necessarily call for the chair making a ruling. But honorable members, I indicated as a preliminary issue that let us all operate within the rules. Honorable members, may I add that we need to also observe the principle of brevity. Yes, what do you have to say?
Chairman, if you read rule 1233, where, in the opinion of the Speaker, the words of a member used in a speech, and it doesn't matter whether the speech is at plenary or at committee, a speech is a speech in Parliament. So where, in the opinion of the Speaker, the words of a member used in a speech are offensive, abusive, insulting, blasphemous, or unbecoming, impute improper motives, or impugns the integrity of a member or any other person, the Speaker may order that the member withdraws those words or withdraw and apologize. So, Speaker, when we came into this chamber, this committee meeting room, and you started, you referred to the nominee as Chief Justice. When you referred to the nominee as Chief Justice, the minority objected to the reference to the nominee as Chief Justice and said that he is not a Chief Justice, he is a nominee to the post of Chief Justice, and so you must refer to him appropriately. Or acting Chief Justice, because he's also an acting Chief Justice. And an acting Chief Justice is a Chief Justice. Now, he has referred to the nominee as a disputed nominee. Disputed nominee. Disputed nominee. You are in court what? Are you in court litigating his nomination? No. Are you in court disputing his nomination? No. You are not in court challenging his nomination. So to the extent that you are not in court challenging his nomination, there is no dispute about his nomination. If there is a dispute about some other action. So you have no right to look him in the face here before this committee and refer to him as a disputed nominee and expect me to sit here and not respond. So, Mr. Chairman, pursuant to our own rules, he has to withdraw and apologize to him for referring to him as a disputed nominee when he is not a disputed nominee.
Honourable members.
Chairman, he has had two opportunities to make a point. Let me respond.
Honourable members, Honourable Minority Leader, listen to what I will have to say. Please proceed and raise your issue. Avoid the use of disputed Chief Justice. Once I do not have a right to refer to him as a Chief Justice, but Chief Justice nominee. Let us all observe that rule and refer to him as such.
Let me be unequivocally clear. The minority in Parliament objects to and unequivocally condemns the coordinated campaign to subjudicate Ghana's judiciary to political domination. Chairman, the facts speak.
Chairman, I object again.
On the 22nd
I object again. I object again, Chairman.
On 22nd
I object again. Chairman, I object again. I object.
Honourable members, I think at this particular point, I must place on record that I have admonished that we should all operate within the ambit of the law. Honourable Minority Leader, be guided by Order 103D, and then let's make progress. And Order 103D, if I may read, to serve as a guide to all of us. It states that a motion shall relate to a definite issue and not revive the consideration of a matter which had been considered in the same meeting unless new matters have arisen. Honourable members, by necessary implication, whether a motion or not, the principles of res judicata will not permit us that a matter that has been raised on the floor resolve to its finality would be permitted to be raised at a committee meeting. So, Honorable Minority Leader, refrain from anything that is relating to sub judice rules and let's make progress, with all due respect. Because Speaker has dealt with this matter, I have also personally dealt partly with this particular matter, with all due respect.
Chairman, the facts speak for themselves. On April 22nd, 2025, Chief Justice Gertrude Araba Isaba Tokoni was suspended as a result of a prima facie determination by the Council of State as contained in the public announcement made by the executives. We, the minority, hold the view that the subsequent committee that was set up under the chairmanship of His Lordship Gabriel Scott Boama to trial the Chief Justice amounted to a travesty of justice.
Chairman. Our rules are clearly offended. Our rules are clearly offended. Because the rules I just read clearly offended. But the rules clearly are offended. Chairman, the rules say that the conduct of the Speaker, the Chief Justice, members and justices of the Superior Court of Judicature shall not be raised in Parliament except on a substantive motion. He has just raised the question of the conduct of a Supreme Court judge who chaired the committee. And he describes it and the conduct and what the justice did as a travesty of justice. He has raised the conduct of that judge. He has. And the rules are clear. And I can assure you that I will not allow you to breach any inch of the rules today. No inch of the rules will I allow you to breach.
Let me respond to you. Chairman, let me respond. Chairman, let me respond to you.
In Parliament. This is unacceptable conduct.
Yes, Honourable Minority Leader, you have the floor.
Mr. Chairman.
They should go and address the press. They should go and address the press and stop this.
Honourable members, order. Honourable Oman, order.
Mr. Chairman, let me make these preliminary comments before I address.
In response to...
Yes, before I address, I've made an observation. The learned Attorney General knows how much I respect him. He knows how much I respect him. And this must be reciprocated by him. When the respected learned Mahama Yariga, leader of government business, was raising his objection, I remained quiet to listen to him because I know that decency requires that we listen to each other in silence. We are lawyers, and in the East, we must demonstrate that practice in Adepa for people to know that we listen and respond. So please, unless there is another plan that I don't know, but whatever that is happening today, history is watching. Now let me respond to my respected colleague, the majority. Chairman, it is his contention it is his contention that my reference to the committee's work amounts to attacking the conduct of its chair. With the greatest respect, I need to be listened to, and he has to pay attention to language as used in context. For the avoidance of doubt, I am repeating that the minority holds the view that the committee's work resulting in the removal of her ladyship, the Chief Justice, amount to travesty of justice. It is a view we hold. It does not offend order 1237. Order 1237, with avoidance of doubt, provides the conduct of the Speaker, the Chief Justice, members of Parliament, the Chief Justice, and Superior Court Justice of Judicature shall not be raised in Parliament except a substantive motion. Now, the distinction must be made. Respected Ayerga, please, bear with me. I've listened to you. The distinction must be made. Your work in the regular official duties and a critique thereto must be distinguished from personal conduct that one would consider as misbehavior or stated misbehavior. I am not, with the greatest respect, impugning the person of the reputation of my Lord Puaman, who I voted for under the influence of Honorable K.T.M. When all the odds were against him, I have nothing personal against him. Because even where there were personal issues that people were attacking his reputation, I was one of the few who stood.
Mr. Chairman.
So I'm not here to attack him.
Mr. Chairman.
And he knows I won't attack him. The caucus is talking about, please, Honorable Ayerga, let me finish. You were allowed to make your point.
Yes, but Honorable Minority Leader, just be brief.
Very well. The committee's work is what we are expressing an opinion on. And we are using very civil language to say that what it did amount to travesty of justice. It's as simple as that. So let me proceed. Chairman, unless the majority leader intends to frustrate everything that the minority has to say by way of its opinion, when did Parliament reduce to this? When you have the right to say your own, you are the leader of the House, you have unfettered right to rebut. That is the debate we even have on the floor. When there is a debate, you take note. Where you think you disagree, when it gets your turn, you should also say that the committee's work did not amount to travesty of justice. Simplicity. But this issue of one line, point of order, next line, you are marking, don't say this, don't say that. Where are we heading to? The judiciary criticizes the government and members of the public where they disagree in their ruling. We
Honorable Minority Leader, kindly conclude for me.
The work of even the judiciary. So I beg you, leader.
Conclude.
We all agree, Chairman.
Conclude.
Right. So let me proceed.
Honorable members, I have listened to the majority leader.
Travesty of justice is now.
I have listened to the minority leader. Honorable members, we should be guided by the principles that if there is an issue on the floor of Parliament which has got to do with another who may not have the opportunity to respond to it, such a thing should not be made on the floor. Now, though Justice Gabriel Puaman is here in person, at no point will he have the opportunity of responding to any issue raised about him. None of the committee members will have the opportunity here and then to make comments. Therefore, for you jumping into a conclusion to say that their reports amount to a travesty of justice without any of them having the opportunity to respond, offends our rules. I will consequently order that anything in relating to the committee and justice performance should be expunged from our record. That is my ruling. So,
Chairman,
proceed.
Chairman, let me protest the rather unacceptable, consistent attempt by the majority leader to obstruct our side's remarks in this process. I know he's your leader, but Chairman, this is unacceptable. That said, I will proceed. Yeah. We hold a view that the removal of Her Ladyship Justice Gertrude Araba Isaba Tokunu was cloaked in some opaque circumstances unacceptable to the jurisprudence of
Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Speaker, Mr. Chairman.
Honorable Minority Leader, you know the rudiment of the game. If you don't want interruptions, let's go by the rules. Other than that, the chairman will be compelled to listen to the person and make ruling. Yes, Majority Leader.
Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, if the minority, led by the minority leader, were to walk out here and invite all the journalists, they could describe the work of the committee in any language. In any language. Nobody. Freedom of speech. But before this Committee of Parliament, the rules are clear. What you can raise and what you cannot raise, and how you can raise it. I'll be surprised if after all these years in this Parliament, you don't understand those rules. I'll be surprised. Yes, I intend to be offensive because he has told me that I am here to deliberately obstruct the minority. What did he say about that? To describe my conduct here as deliberately obstructing the minority when I'm trying to keep him to the rules. When you say the conduct of a judge, we're not talking about the personal conduct, who he slept with and who he didn't sleep with. We're talking about his work, how he conducted his work. You are saying that the committee conducted its work in an opaque manner. That's what you are saying. In darkness, that's what you are saying. And that the outcome of their work is a travesty of justice. That's what I'm saying. And you are not in court challenging the conduct of the committee. You are not. You as a person, you are not in court challenging the conduct of the committee. You know the rules in the Constitution regarding the work of the proceedings. You haven't shown at any stage that the rules in the Constitution governing the work of the committee have been breached in any way. How can you come and sit here and describe the work as opaque, travesty of justice, and improper removal, and etc., and expect me to sit here and allow you to do that? You are clearly violating the rules. And when I try to guide you how to go about your work, then you say that I'm trying to obstruct you.
Honourable Majority Leader, you've made your point. And again, if I'm called upon to do a ruling, the rules are clear that we should refrain from the use of offensive language. We are here for the purposes of vetting. A situation where the process will be used to describe the work of a committee to be opaque, meaning it was done in darkness, is offensive. Therefore, I will order that same be expunged from the record as if it doesn't exist. Honorable Minority Leader, proceed.
Chairman, with respect. Okay, thank you. Chairman, with respect, he raised the objection you didn't give me the opportunity to respond. And you're saying that you have ruled. I mean, what is the fairness in this? He just raised objection. He didn't refer to any rule this time. This time, he didn't refer to any rule. And then he says that we should go and do press conference.
Honorable Minority Leader, kindly proceed.
It is our contention that the process leading to the removal of her ladyship, Justice Araba Isaba Tokonu, was unfair, it lacked due process, it did not adhere to any constitutional procedure.
Chairman, I hope, Chairman, that persistently